Water is our most precious resource, especially here in the western United States. And we need to do all that we can to ensure that we're getting the most of our water. And I'm going to be able to show you how it can affect and improve our water penetration. I have some examples that I'm going to show you of what Aqua Drive does and how it works. Then I'm going to show you the technical information behind that of why it does what it does and how we're able to affect and improve our water penetration and even movement of water throughout our irrigation systems. Here we're going to do a representation of what our soil with untreated water looks like. You can see how the water hits, stands, and then runs off as water does what it does and follows the natural behavior of water of following the path of least resistance. It coheses to itself and runs off. A little bit goes in, but most of it runs off. Now we'll do the same demonstration with treated water, treated with Aqua Drive. You can see it immediately starts to penetrate. The water starts to go in as we apply. Some will run off. But you can see how the water infiltrates and evenly moves through the soil profile. So when we look at this example, why does water not want to penetrate? Why doesn't it easily want to adapt and go into the soil particles? What we have and what technology showed us is the hydrophobic nature of soil, that organic coating that naturally occurs is what repels our water. And this demonstration showed exactly what happens in nature, in our lawns, in our flower pots, of exactly what happens. The water hits, it's repelled off that organic coating and runs off. When we add Aqua Drive, it shows exactly what it does, is that hydrophobic head attaches to that soil particle, and the hydrophilic head attaches to the water molecule and won't let it go. It sticks there and stays, and then it's able to wet and evenly penetrate that soil where our plants can have the water readily available for them to grow. So when we go into a neighborhood and you look at a well-manicured yard, you see locations where you see these beautiful lawns and beautiful landscapes, and all of a sudden you'll see this dry spot. The spot right in the middle of the lawn, there's no rhyme or reason why they're there. They're considered localized dry spots, and they are the cause of most of homeowners' headaches. Why do they happen and how do they happen? When you look at the natural behavior of our soils, the wet, dry, and wet cycles that we put our heavily irrigated lawns into lead to this organically coated hydrophobic soil situation that leads to why those dry spots happen. And Aqua Drive is a great way to stop those things from being able to occur. How does Aqua Drive work? The chemistry behind it is proven. With the hydrophilic head and the hydrophobic tail, one attaches to that water molecule and makes it spread and evenly stick, and the other side of it, that hydrophobic tail, attaches to that soil particle, so those spots, the water's not able to run away from that hydrophobic condition, and that's what cures and stops those local dry spots from happening. So here we have another illustration of how Aqua Drive can help improve our soil. So here we have two predetermined amounts of soil. We're going to evenly spray the same amount of water on each pile of soil and be able to monitor and see exactly how water untreated and treated works in our soil profile. So I'll start first with the untreated. So I want you to notice when you look at that how their water is beaded around the outside and a little bit's penetrated in, but mainly it's the soil's dry. So now we'll do the treated with Aqua Drive. So we even there, both piles got 20 applications of water, one treated and one untreated with Aqua Drive, and you can see the difference in the soil itself. One, most of the water's on the outside and puddled together and stuck together, and then on the treated side, the water, you can see there's some around the outside there, but there's really no beads, none of that beading that you see with water, that cohesiveness where it sticks to itself. The water's laying flat and want to penetrate. So now we'll kind of break and cut the end of the soil so we can see how much water penetrated and how the water worked into the soil. You can see the water just barely hit the tops of the soil and then ran off. You can see most of the waters around this outside edge. So now we'll cut into the treated soil pile. One, you can see and feel that you can't really tell, but you can feel the difference. And then two, look at the difference in how the soil, how it's wet, how we've gone through and it's completely wetted that top amount of, and if we kept continually applying that water, how it would evenly wet through. When you go around the edge, there's really not any water around the outside edge. The next part of this little demonstration I'd like to show is putting a little bit of the treated water onto the untreated side and show you the difference. I want you to see the difference, see how the soil particles in the water start to move, and how you can see the water pulling into the soil now. How that amphiphilic molecule, the hydrophobic and hydrophilic end, go to work, and how the soil starts to pull itself in and starts to evenly wet. And you can see that water laying flat now. You don't see the even beads. This is a great demonstration of exactly what Aqua Drive does and how it works and how everything we talked about in this demonstration right here. Well, we've kind of gone over the technical aspect of how Aqua Drive worked, added the science with it, and then we also showed you some great demonstrations of why Aqua Drive and how it works and how simple it is to use and how it goes through and how it penetrates and moves into the soils. So the applicator has three main settings. It has off, just straight water, and then on where it's applying the Aqua Drive. Super easy to use, just thread it onto the end of the hose. You're able to apply and put it anywhere you need to that way. Just really want to say thank you. Appreciate your time of letting us come in, sit down and explain Aqua Drive a little better. Hopefully it's been super informative, and we just appreciate your time and thank you for your business.